television show invites you to speak live with Piscataway's Mayor Brian Waller and his guests on the first Monday of each month. To speak with the mayor, call 562-2305. Mayor Waller is ready to take your calls.
Good evening and welcome to I Am Piscataway. This is Wednesday, November 4th, and we are on the air live. If you would like to speak with me or my guests, please call us at any time during this hour-long program at 732-562-2305. My guests this evening include our newly elected Councilwoman, Camille Fernicola. Camille got delayed, so she will be here hopefully later on the set. So we are pleased tonight to bring to two representatives who offer care to our United States veterans right here in Piscataway. As a matter of fact, the VA clinic is just up the road on Old New Brunswick Road, not too far from where this is being broadcasted. And I have in studio Dr. Audrey Pereira, and a board-certified internal medicine physician she is. And she's also a graduate at NYU University and is lead physician in the Piscataway community-based outpatient care, which provides primary care to veterans and comprehensive health care to women veterans. Dr. Pereira was nominated to attend the Geriatric Scholars Program, which she most successfully completed. Dr. Pereira is also a leader of the only VA clinic to achieve PAC performance measures in 2014, and we're very happy to have you here today, Doctor.
Thank you.
Frank Quadrino has been employed by the Department of Veterans Affairs for the past 38 years. Frank has held various positions during these years, and in 1998 was selected as the patient advocate and assigned to represent the outpatients and their family members with any issues or problems dealing with their health care. He currently holds the position as the Community Outreach Manager for the VA New Jersey healthcare system, where he is responsible for informing veterans about their eligibility for health care benefits and numerous services that the VA provides to its veterans. Frank has a daughter who is also a first-grade teacher in Piscataway, so Frank does have ties to PWA. Yes. So thank you, Frank, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
The VA, for those folks out in the thing, I mean, obviously there's been a lot of PR over the last year or so about the VA and the healthcare and veterans in general, but it's not some small cabinet department within the government. It's a very sprawling, large government. And maybe, Frank, you could speak to that, what the VA mission is. Because there's a lot of lay people out there, especially folks that are a lot younger than me, that may not be cognizant of what the VA mission is all about. And then, Doctor, anytime you want to jump in, this is like a mosh pit. Just jump right in. And
sure. Well, before I tell you about the mission, you had mentioned how large the VA is. And just to give you an example, back in 1997, I think we had 2.3 million veterans who were using the VA, you know, worldwide, so to speak.
Well, that would probably, arguably, that number right there alone would probably be the largest healthcare provider in the country.
Oh, we are. But what I was going to say is now we're up over 9 million veterans that utilize the VA. And that's because a lot more Vietnam vets are using the VA. We really weren't, how should we say, open arms when it came to the Vietnam vets when they got out of the service. But now a lot of them are coming down with conditions related to Agent Orange, and they're utilizing the VA. And I could tell you this, almost every vet that I've met that's come back from Iraq and Afghanistan, they're all enrolling in the VA.
Well, I think, and the two of you professionals here probably obviously are more attuned to what's going on, and I think maybe a lot of it has to do is that probably the military in itself has done a better job of educating the veterans when they're leaving. I guess when they're discharging, that you need to sign up whether you use it or not. Just sign up so you're in the system. I'm assuming that's what the case is.
Well, it's funny. Again, it's funny you say that because now when a soldier is being discharged from the service, they go through what is known as a demobilization process.
Now, when you're going to explain that, now, when did that actually start? Was that never the case, or?
Oh, I think it was always, I remember my father telling me when he got out of World War II, but it was like basically a handshake and, go on with your life. Now it's like a 10-day process. I mean, these folks, when they come back, let's say they're demobbing out of Fort Dix, they're going to be there for a good week or 10 days, and they go through a lot of process where a number of different agencies are down there explaining to them what their benefits are, whether it's the Department of Labor, whether it's an attorney speaking to them, like maybe when they were away for 9 months, they had their electricity turned off, and now they don't know what to do.
All right, so I'm going to be asking questions as if a layperson asks.
Sure.
So the Veterans Affairs VA is not just about health care where the doctor deals with it. It's more services other than health care.
Yes.
Yes, you do have things, benefits such as home loans, going back to school, life insurance policies, filing a claim for disability, non-service connected pensions. I mean, there are a number of different benefits, as you alluded to, but obviously the one thing that both myself and Dr. Pereira are trying to do is get them to utilize the VA for their health care. At some point in your life, you're going to need to see a physician. And, this is one of the things I tell these 25, 22-year-olds that come back, and they say, I'm fine. Why do I need to enroll in the VA? Well, first of all, I think anybody who comes back from combat really needs to be examined by a physician. And second of all, at some point in your life, you're going to have some sort of medical condition that needs the attention of a physician.
Why do you think that there's some hesitance by maybe some of the Afghanistan Iraqs to enroll into the system? Is it just because of maybe the age factor, and they're thinking they're in the prime of their lives, and maybe that's the reason why? And Doctor, you may have shed a little more light on it.
They always come in, the younger veterans, thinking that this is a facility for older people.
All those Korean War and World War II vets.
And I haven't lost a leg, so why should I come?
Okay.
I haven't been injured, why should I come?
Okay.
Right.
So they thought it was that, but now they realize they can get more added benefits of just a general physical and preventive health. So they're able to get their routine physical done, blood work, and we all are aware of the obesity and the growing thing for cholesterol, elevated cholesterol at the young age, right from school. So these veterans, young veterans, are made to go through these tests and then trained and told about exercise, daily choosing the right foods to eat in order to stay healthy. Because if they are healthy, they can look after themselves, their families, get a good job, work through it, and be healthy right till the end.
So it's not like when they were in the branch, whatever branches of service they're in, typically they had a regimen exercise routine. Now that they're out of the service and not maybe on, call-up duty or whatever the terminology is, it's just, hey, listen, it's just common knowledge. You should watch like any other physician's going to tell any other patient, in civilian practice.
Exactly.
The problem with the young veterans is they have been so geared to having a regiment of life. When they come out, they find it difficult to get back into that exercise regime. And they just sit back.
So in other words,
relaxed.
when they come out after, say, doing a couple tours of duty or whatever, and getting up early in the morning, do whatever calisthenics are right there, it's just like, all right, I'm out. I want to sleep in or whatever.
Yes.
It's not as regimented.
And then slowly they begin to realize they're gaining weight. And then they come in and say, I need to lose it.
So the only time they feel like it's like when their suits are getting bigger or their clothes and they have to buy more.
I think so, yes.
I'm a firm believer it's always easier to lose, maintain your weight than to go out and buy new suits with the cost of suits and the clothing these days.
Yes.
So with that, I want to remind our viewers, the number is 732-562-2305. We have Frank Quadrino from the Veterans Outreach Program in the state, and Dr. Prieto, who's located right here at the VA clinic and here on Old New Brunswick Road in Piscataway. And by the way, for the viewership out there, that's actually quite an honor to have a VA clinic located within your community, because there's only X amount of funding within the VA system to open up a clinic. And correct me if I'm wrong, Frank?
No, you're right. I mean, I think we have 9 clinics basically within our jurisdiction, and as you said, one being in Piscataway, and the next closest one probably is Hamilton, which is by Quaker Bridge Mall.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't say enough for those folks out there in TV land who are maybe watching this show that if they know a family, friend, or a relative who's a vet that qualifies, obviously, and you live in this geographical area, this is the clinic to go to, basically in this area of the state.
Yes.
Right there.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
But I know. Speaking of it, Doctor, we met when the clinic was first opened a couple of years ago, and it was kind of funny. I forget the director at the time. He goes to me, I wish we had some signs out there, like Trailblazer signs.
Yes.
No problem, done. So within 4 days, we put the Trailblazer signs all around town, coming off all the major exits, to arrows pointing to the VA clinic. So, because I'm a firm believer that I feel very proud that clinic, a substantial portion of the government, and especially dealing with veterans, is outreach is in our community.
Yes.
And I just don't want. I want to see that the vets actually get to use the clinic a lot. But more importantly, I don't want to see that it's underutilized, because if you underutilize like anything in government, well, if it's not being utilized, maybe it should be on a chopping block. Right. So, I understand that. So that's why
I can assure you it's fully utilized.
Yeah.
We are very busy.
Now, I know you had the clinic over in the city of New Brunswick for a number of years. It was in a very hard to get parking.
Yes.
Yeah, especially somebody who was in a wheelchair, a vet in a wheelchair. Yes. It was very. So now, how long have you been there at the site now?
At the site, we moved in January 2011, but it started in New Brunswick in 1999.
Okay.
I've been there since 2000, and I've worked my way through. At that time, we were open for 1.5 days, literally.
Right. Okay.
And then we grew to a full-time 5 days a week. So
the clinic originally started out to like a day and a half during a week, and so now you're almost
5 days a week, full-time. We have extended hours on Mondays.
So obviously word of mouth has gotten out there.
That's right.
Yeah.
So 7 a.m. in the morning to 7 p.m. in the evening on Mondays, we are available. We are 2 full-time physicians over there. And so we try to balance out and work our way through. We do...
Now, what is the... I know there's confidentiality with the patient's health care, like anything like the HIPAA rules and things like that, but most veterans, are they coming in for their annual checkups, or are they coming in just for specified issues, issues in general?
We have all varieties. They do come in for something specific sometimes, a cold or a cough. Sometimes they just come in because they've been told, you're a veteran, go and register, take up the health care. Then some of them want to come in for annual physicals. They're diligent, they're confident, and they want to know what's going on. Then some veterans come for other healthcare-related problems that may not be related to what they've had in the services. Other general care. They want a second opinion. They come back to the VA. Some of them just come and say, this is all my records. Would you try and explain to me? And can you refer me to the specialty clinics? And we do refer them to East Orange or Lions.
I know the Lions Hospital. Now, where does that fit into the equation with the clinic? What role does that play?
They have all the specialty clinics there. And we have some of them confined only to East Orange. Like if you have to go for neurology or some other specialized clinics, they're located in East Orange. But we have in both places. Now, they also have the Community Living Center in Lions.
At Lions Community Living Center.
Now, what does that mean, Community Living Center? What is, because you got to remember, we're assuming that there's lay people out there.
Sure. Well, it was our nursing home.
Okay.
And they changed it to
make it very simple.
Okay.
Right. So,
and then veterans who need that will be referred for such care. Right. So at the primary care, we just can provide primary care, immunizations, blood work, ECGs, and we have a psychiatrist who visits us 2 days a week. So that care can be held there. And we also have what we call a video teleconference system. And through that, we have several services that are available. One is,
that's very interesting, because I remember speaking, I had known Senator Begich from Alaska, who sat on the Armed Services Committee, and one of the things that he pushed for his, and obviously there's a large military presence in that state, that a lot of medical teleconferencing, Skyping for physicians with vets around. Do you see that here in Piscataway more?
Yes, it's picking up.
Okay.
Patients are beginning to realize they can speak through someone. And they speak on the TV, they get mental health, nutrition, home-based primary care. If pain management has seen them in East Orange and they need a follow-up, they can Skype them at our clinic as a follow-up instead of them traveling.
So they would come to your clinic, and then somebody from East Orange would...
Yes, we do have a connection. We set up the appointment, and then we make the connection with those people. So various services can utilize that facility.
If you think about it, Doctor and Frank, I mean, that's a lot more efficient way to handle, instead of a patient having to travel X amount of miles in traffic to get up and back, and it may be something minor or maybe something more involved, but the doctors in both facilities can make judgments a lot quicker, and so thus, in theory, care is expedited.
Sure.
Yes, it is.
And truthfully, probably the main reason why we started to build the community-based outpatient clinics like the one in Piscataway is so the veteran doesn't have to travel so far. I mean, if you live in this area, if you were a veteran, you were enrolled in the VA, we would say to you, why don't you go to the clinic in Piscataway? Don't drive all the way up to Lyons or East Orange for primary care. Why take a 25, 30-minute ride when it's only 5 minutes from your house? So a lot of the veterans do use the clinics a lot more than when they did 10 years ago. I could tell you that right now.
Yeah, because I'm assuming because more of the outreach is explaining this is sort of like, I know in the healthcare industry is changing. Instead of going to emergency rooms, they have the new smaller ambulatory care facilities, which is a smaller version of, say, of a hospital, because to deal with the less critical illnesses.
Yes.
And to cut down on the costs and deliver services a little bit, in theory, a little bit more efficiently for care for the patients.
Yes, and I think primarily the patient likes communication. So we also have what we call My Healthy Vet. And they are able to communicate with the doctor and our team in a very confidential way. And nobody else can get to that. So they're suffering in something, and they will type to us and say, what should we do? Should we come up? Should we go here? So we are able to communicate with them and tell them, okay, why don't you get an X-ray first, and then we can see you at this time. And they're very pleased with that we respond so quickly to them. It's a lot more efficient that those who can communicate with us.
Do you find do you see any age, with some of the vets, apprehension about using that type of technology versus, say, the younger vets? I'm just out of curiosity.
Yes, the older vets, some of them are pretty smart, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But some don't want to be bothered. They just take out their flip phone.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they have.
Oh, my son hates my 13-year-old hates the fact that he still has a flip phone. But
so
it is what it is. It's a generation thing.
Yeah. Yes, there is the generation gap for that.
Yeah, I see that too.
But the younger veterans are very happy, and they communicate, and they're very happy with it.
Now, we're going to hold that thought because we have to go to some videos, but I want to remind the viewers the number 732-562-2305. We have Frank Morano from the Veterans Administration Outreach Program here in the state of New Jersey on set, and Dr. Audrey Prieta from the local clinic here, VA clinic here in Piscataway on Old New Brunswick Road. So let's cue up the first video feed, and we're going to go to that.
So obviously you guys liked it the first time around, right? Yeah. I promised you would have fun the first time around. You would learn a lot. I think you're going to enjoy this just as much. I know you will enjoy this just as much or even more. Lieutenant Hackler, Detective Quigley, Detective Laughlin worked very hard on this. They put a great program together for you. You're going to get to meet some people this time from outside of the department that bring their expertise in here to share with you guys. I greatly appreciate you guys coming out, taking time out of your busy weeks again to spend some time with us. As I said in the spring, and I'll say again, I'll probably say again at the graduation, even more we appreciate those of you that come and help us George, are great help for us on the 4th of July. All those, we can always use the help for any of our events that we have, and we greatly appreciate when you guys do come out. So we hope we put a good program on for you, and I'm just going to step out of the way.
Welcome back. And as the captain said, you had fun last time, you'll have more fun this time. As some of the same faces you'll see, they will teach you a little more about their expertise, and we know you'll enjoy it and have a great time.
I want to thank Captain Blair and Captain Cartmel for the Advanced Citizen Police Academy initiative out there that was continued under, obviously, Chief Ivone. They're a very popular course. And we do have, I believe, another quick 2 clips there. So we're going to let the Cracker Jack studio staff there cue that up. Wow. This is, believe it or not, this is...
You get people like that in your clinic, Doc?
Yeah, this is our Senior Citizen Center annual fashion runway show here. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get over there, but now I'm seeing the clips for the first time. So this is the evening event, I guess, held in the morning. So, but I've been told that one of our council members was also dressed up to the nines here, and there he is, Councilman Ballard, with our Director on Aging. And right there, he's looking good. And Jim's behind the camera this evening, doing this stuff, so he looks good. The only person we're missing here, we're missing Jim's wife Lois there.
Okay.
So, but you know, this is like, if you're a senior citizen within Piscataway Township, there are numerous events that instead of sitting home crocheting or whatever, you can come out and socialize with your peers and do some little fun little stunts. And we have one more senior citizen clip, so we're going to quickly cue that up right away. Right there, and this is the annual, what I have to laugh, it's the annual Halloween party. So,
so
we see a lot of crazy get-ups out there, a lot of thought there. So.
Oh my God.
So, but I know this is another one. They have a great time over there. See, I got to look forward to this when I get older here. But I want to also say we have, that's one of our cadets from our Piscataway High School Junior ROTC. They volunteer all the time over at the Senior Center, the Air Force ROTC. So right there, that's our state senator, and prior to that was our Camille Fernicola. Hopefully she'll be on set right there. So they were the judges there. I never want to be stuck as a judge because it's very, very tough to make a decision with all the costumes and everything. So. They all plead their case, so this is, it's not the Gong Show. This is actually on the up and up, so. But no matter how their physical capabilities are, they're all out there to get dressed up.
Give them credit.
To do that, so it's really good. You see so many outfits, and they don't normally dress up like this every day. Thank God for that. So. But there's a lot of great fun out there with our seniors and things like that. What I wanted to mention, we talked about Skyping and the health care. With a lot of the problems that were talked about around the country from, I guess, misdiagnosis or lack of care, but it just seems like the clinic end of this is helping to bridge that gap to, I mean, I don't know if there was that situation here in New Jersey, but, you know.
The situation that people saw in the newspaper and the media about 1.5 years ago was a VA, I think it was in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's right, that's correct.
And what happens, Mr. Mayor, is, let's be honest, as people get older, they retire, you're on Social Security, they can't afford to live in places like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. So where do you think they move?
They move to warmer climates.
Thank you. Okay, so you have all these Korean War vets, World War II vets moving to Florida, moving to Arizona. They need a lot of care, and they can't get them in a timely fashion. That has not happened here in New Jersey.
Here's the other thing, I guess, also, because if they weren't in private sector, or if they didn't have the money to sign up for, like, an AARP supplemental or something like that, I mean, they're using, I'm assuming, if they're savvy enough and done their homework and listened to some of the literature that your agency has given out, that would act as their primary care. No, what is it? Is the VA care primary or is Medicare primary? When you're a vet, I always forget which is what.
In actuality, I don't know if you know that, we're really not an insurance per se because we don't charge a premium.
I know, yeah. No, I know
premium,
that. Yeah.
I mean, think of that. You come to you're not getting hit with a $400 bill every quarter just because you're enrolled. But yeah, a lot of the vets do have Medicare, and that's what they use as their primary. But I mean, to me, the VA offers a lot of different services. I mean, any vet who's enrolled in the VA, they get free eyeglasses. Free eyeglasses.
That's golden right there unto itself.
Yeah.
I mean,
most of the vets come in, they have Medicare and supplemental.
Right.
Now, the ones that don't have the supplemental do find it difficult to buy prescriptions on the outside.
Right.
We do have
when
pharmacies.
you mean prescription, eyeglasses or just actual prescription drugs?
Medications. Pills, injections. Most places try to offer some of them free, like the diabetic medicines are free in ShopRite. So some of them are free. So they go there, but the other medicines may not be free. They might have to have a copay. Some of them, the copay is cheaper. Some of them, they're not cheaper. So based on everything, and when they come to me as a primary care provider, first thing we do is sit and sort out the list. What do you have? What do you need? What you don't need? Then they tell me, but I get this cheaper outside. I want to buy it outside. So I said, okay.
So basically, in a lot of cases, they can get it cheaper on the outside from some Walmart
pharmacies.
Right.
And the other pharmacies charge them the regular rate, which may be too expensive for them, so they turn to the VA. The VA has one standard rate.
All right, so the VA on the prescription end has one standard rate, whether it's generic or a specialty
brand name.
That is correct.
Exactly, yeah. We either charge $8 or $9 for a 30-day supply of medication.
Okay.
And it's regular. They get it in the mail.
Right.
And it's on time each time.
Which, by the way, speaking about receiving your medications in the mail, that has become, for most people now, it's underutilized to a certain extent, but people that have higher copays when it comes to the medication, the prescription drug people will give you pay for one copay, and you may get 3 prescriptions with the one copay.
Correct.
Which financially is actually beneficial to the patient.
Right.
Correct.
Because you're not paying 3 separate copays. If you went to a store, an actual bricks and mortars building.
That's correct, yeah.
And I think that's, I know, in government at the municipal level and the county levels, they're trying to get employees to do more, order by mail, so to speak, because it cuts down on the cost of not only for the provider, but also, more importantly, it cuts down on the cost for the recipient.
Yes.
And is that encouraged with the VA veterans too?
Very much so.
A lot of them are encouraged by that.
Very much so.
And they're very happy with the fact it comes home to them. And some of the medications are pronto. They have no issues with waiting and delay.
Just as long as you know those teleprompt calls with the on the phone system. That's sometimes that job.
But then again, that's why the My Healthy Vet is very useful there.
Okay.
For many patients, they can just go in there and click the box.
Right.
And the medication is renewed. So we have various ways by which they can get it renewed. And it's very convenient. Okay,
we're going to hold that thought. We do have another video that we're going to queue up here. This had to do with Camille Fernicole and I. We're at the ribbon cutting of the new Colgate facility here in Piscataway. Long-time company, but their expansion for their site. So we're going to queue it up and let the video do the talking for itself.
We're gathered here in our new Customer Engagement Center, the first one we have ever built at Colgate. We created this space to showcase our new product technology to our key retail customers from around the world who sell our products in their stores. Retailers who are knowledgeable and excited about our stream of new products ensure that they make room for them in their stores, making them broadly available to the shoppers who, of course, want to buy them. Our aim when retailers visit here is to share the science of these new products and demonstrate the appeal of the packaging that communicates all the great stuff that's inside the product. And this space gives us an opportunity to do just that. We can set up actual store shelves in this room to show how new products will look on shelf. But in today's digital world, we can also set up virtual shelves using the large screens behind me to show how products will look in the store, shifting the configurations with a swipe of a finger. Oh, that it was so easy in the stores. But let me tell you, it's a whole lot easier doing it here than it is doing it in the stores. The other regular visitors to this center, as Pat said, are dentists, both practicing dentists and leading academic and research dentists. And this group is keenly interested in how our innovative new oral care products actually work. And we regularly invite dental professionals, key opinion leaders, and academics to visit us here to learn about the science behind our products.
I'd like to thank Ian Cook and your worldwide organization for investing here in Piscataway Township and Middlesex County as a whole. For those people who, I don't know if this is a webinar cast or whatever, but for the rest of the employees within the Colgate family, River Road, prior to pre-colonial times, was the center of commerce in Middlesex County. So I think here you flash forward 350 years later, here it is still with the technological innovations that Colgate has on this campus now, is really in a lot of ways keeping in conjunction with all the commerce and innovation for the New Brunswick-Piscataway area, and that's what we'd like to see. Colgate family has been a great partner here in Piscataway Township for many a decades. As a kid growing up, coming out of St. Peter's Hospital, as long as that, 62, you dated me there when you mentioned that. But I want to thank everybody for all the hard work you do. And for a little idea, if you don't know much about Piscataway Township, we are the 5th oldest town in the state of New Jersey, 50th oldest in the United States. But we have a unique situation where it's the only town in New Jersey where you can actually go from pre-K kindergarten all the way up to get a master's degree or a medical degree or a dental degree or whatever engineering degree and stuff, and never have to leave the town. So your higher education right here, and then get employed by Colgate. So we're very fortunate in that, and I had the chance to ask Ian. I said, well, where did you start out? He said, well, I've been with Colgate a long time. He must have gave about 10 or 12 places that he lived when he was working within the company. I said, you know what? On your passport stamp, we're going to get a separate thing that says Piscataway Township now for you, right there. Right, Ian? We're going to do that.
This room.
That's right.
I want to thank the CEO of Colgate, Ian Cook, for spending time in Piscataway out of the New York office. It is a great facility, and Councilwoman, you were there obviously at the ribbon cutting for that. And very interesting. So I make sure that we use Colgate products in our house, right there at Colgate. So no Crest. We're not a Crest family. We're Colgate. But we'll encourage all vets to use Colgate too. So. But it's a very interesting how they have that set up, because it's one of the sites, their global network, and it's personal healthcare products have really come a long way.
Yes.
With that, so. We do have another clip that was just taken within the last week or so down at the Shore School. It was Verizon donated out of their foundation money to Rutgers University Douglas College to a mentoring program for women, to encourage young women to go into the science field. So what they do, they're working in the science field with young students in grade school, and so we're going to go to the videotape and let the video speak for itself.
This grant for us is especially good for a couple reasons. The Verizon Foundation is involved in several things. We do domestic violence awareness and prevention. We do healthcare technology. But our signature focus is on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And we do that in a couple different ways. We want to get teachers who are in classrooms enabled and excited about enabling their students to get excited about STEM. But we also like to work directly with students as well. To us, it's really a workforce issue. We need people who we can hire who know STEM. And part of that challenge is for girls and women to get them excited about STEM. There's some kind of scary numbers out there in this space. So one of them being that in the 4th grade, 68% of girls say they're interested in science. But if you look at the engineering majors across the country, it is only 18%. So that's a curve that's a problem for us. And so at the foundation, we spend some time and some resources on trying to bend that curve, both by getting teachers enabled to get their kids excited about STEM and also working directly with kids, and especially girls, to get them excited about science, technology, engineering, and math.
It's very, very important that there be math and computer skills for our young women. My older sister was a math major. She worked for IBM for all of her career. I was a history major, but I did make it through calculus. So, we hit all the bases there. But it's really important that we prepare our young people for the jobs of the future, and we hear from the corporate sector that we're not doing that adequately enough. I think you all will not be a problem in that regard, but we want to spread that word. We want to get young girls excited about math and computing, have the appropriate technological skills, and treat it as a game, which I know you do in some of your work. I've read about what you do, and I look around and see all these fantastic young girls, all you guys. Congratulations to you for all the work that you're doing. So I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you again from Rutgers University and Douglas Residential College to Verizon, and thank you guys for all the work that you're doing.
First of all, I want to thank Verizon and also the Rutgers University Foundation for sponsoring this program. I'd like to view this program as a workforce development in the future. And for those young students over here in front of the computers, they are our future in the workforce. And Piscataway Township, for the Rutgers students who don't know it, we're predominantly a telecommunications town and IT town. So this goes hand in hand, and with the university being located within our community, the boundary, Rutgers has about 3.5 square miles of our community, so they have a large input on our community. So with any time that the university can work hand in hand with the school district and helping out the students along, it's a great thing. And we look for more collaboration in this respect. Once again, I want to thank Rutgers University in conjunction with the Verizon Foundation for making that donation and working with our future engineers, computer science majors at our middle school. So it's a very good thing. So with that, we're going to go to our quickly months announcement. We're going to come back for about 20 minutes of Q&A here, because I promised our councilwoman for Nicola, she's going to have to ask a couple questions, so she's going to patiently wait after this. So for the convenience of our residents, the tax office will remain open on Monday, November 2nd, and on Tuesday, November 10th, during the lunch hour from 12:30 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Also, the JFK Library at 500 Hose Lane has scheduled a Welcome Home Veterans / Part 2 program on Sunday, November 8th at 1:30 p.m. The PBS program on the Home Front, a series of intimate portraits of Americans' military families, will be discussed, facilitated by Professor England Worth, who will supply a historic perspective. A Wills and Estates planning program will be held on Thursday, the 12th of November at 7 p.m. at Kennedy Library. The seminar will focus on how new probate law has made substantial changes to the probate and administrative of the states, trusts in the state of New Jersey. Topics covered will include changes in the federal estate gift tax, New Jersey inheritance taxes, power of attorney with living wills, administering the estate probate surrogate. The Middlesex County shredding truck will be in the Senior Citizen Center parking lot on Saturday, November 14th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon until the truck is filled, whichever occurs first. Do not bring books, magazines, newspapers, junk mail, x-rays, floppy disks, or CDs. Tell that, I guess that includes I can't bring my wife's Barbie dolls, right? That's a no-no. Okay, during the month of November, the Municipal Gallery in the Municipal Building has an array of veterans' pictures lining the walls, and the annual exhibit is coordinated by the Cultural Arts Commission, which, by the way, they will be having that this Friday down there. So, the Friends of the Library will hold their biannual gathering on Saturday, November 14th at 2 p.m. The program is Keep This, Toss That, and will be presented by Jamie Novak, an organization specialist Featured on HDTV and QVC. Aside from a laugh, you'll also walk away from tips on cleaning your closets and make those piles of paperwork disappear. The annual autumn wine tasting will be held at Sunday, the 15th of November, for the benefit of the Mettler Bodine House Museum, Piscataway's own museum, at Lala's Restaurant, 87 Central Avenue in Metuchen, from 3 to 5 p.m. New Brunswick Jazz Project will entertain. The cost is $45 in advance, $55 at the door. Professional sommelier Brian Mallor will present the selection of quality wines and assortment of pastas and hors d'oeuvres will be served. Registering by 732-463-8363. The Piscataway Historical Heritage Society will feature a free presentation of Vince Gargiulo, the president of Palisades Amusement Park Historical Society, detailing the history of the park with its world-class rides, entertainment before it closed forever in 1971. It will be held on Monday, the 16th of November at 7:30 p.m. at the Senior Center, and light refreshments will be served. Also, holiday teas will be held at the Mettler House on Sundays, the 22nd of November, Sunday to December 6th. Both events will be from 3 to 5 p.m. We'll feature menu favorites and tea sandwiches, scones with cream and jams, fresh fruit salad, freshly brewed teas, and a variety of desserts. Cost $30 a person. Reserved by November 16th for the November 22nd tea and December 1st for the December 6th. You must have a reserved spot because seating is limited. Call 463-8363. Township offices will be closed on Wednesday, November 11th for Veterans Day observance, and on Thursday and Friday, November 26th and 27th for Thanksgiving holiday. And mark your calendars. Please note that December Ion Piscataway will be live from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on Monday, December 7th. Santa will be making his annual visit to our show, and we invite all children who would like to speak with him to be sure to call 732-562-2305 on Monday, December 7th. That's always our most popular show when we have Santa on. This November will be rebroadcast on Mondays in November at 8 p.m. and on Fridays and Sundays at 7 p.m. on PC Channel 15 and on BIOS Channel 40, Verizon, and for live streaming on demand, go to www.piscatawaytv.peg.tv. So that concludes our monthly announcements. And one aside note, we are having a canned food drive this Saturday at the Municipal Building and in all of our libraries to benefit both the Fish Organization and the McFoods program for Middlesex County. So you'll be hearing a lot. That'll be on the VMS boards around town and on the municipal website as well. So we're back to some questions. The one question I have before I let the Councilwoman for Nicole jump in, the eligibility question, and as we were off tape before, if you are in the National Guard, like say the U.S. Army National Guard, correct, based in New Jersey, are you eligible?
No.
Okay, because that's considered state.
It's not that it's considered state. It's considered not active duty.
Okay, so
however,
you had to been active.
There's a caveat to that. If you get deployed, if you get called up by the President of the United States,
deployed abroad, or even domestically.
Yeah, even the people who got called up for the post office strike.
Yes.
Okay.
Then they were allowed to come and apply. So it all depends. That DD-214, their discharge paper, we could look at it and we can make a determination if they were in the National Guard Reserves. Hey, you know what? You qualify because you got deployed. Somalia, Grenada.
Okay, all right. So that answers the question.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I know what you're going. I mean, I meet a lot of vets that served 20, 25 years in the National Guard. Okay. Never deployed, never did active duty. So they're not eligible. Yeah.
Well,
it's tough to tell them.
Unfortunately, you got to make
rules.
Exactly. There, so.
Yeah.
So at this point, Camille, did you have a question?
I was just wondering about PTSD. If you talked about this before, I apologize for the
No, we actually did not come up yet.
No, it didn't.
How do you deal with that? And do you deal with that at the Piscataway facility?
Okay, as far as PTSD is concerned, we do have a screening question.
And maybe we should say what it means because, well, you know, I know, right, but sometimes people forget.
Okay, PTSD is a post-traumatic stress disorder. That's some event in your life keeps coming back to you and makes you think about it, and you get depressed. So for our veterans, it's mostly related to where they have served and whatever they've observed.
Yes.
So as a primary care physician, We do have a screening questions, what they call the screening question 2, and if that's done by the nurse. And if they come out positive, it comes to me, and there's a screening question 9 to do. Once they are positive, we do have a facility, we do have a psychiatrist who visits the clinic 2 days a week in Piscataway. But they can also go at any time if they're ever down and they don't feel good and they do want to get help immediately. We have facility for mental health at the emergency room in East Orange, VA, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We also give them what we call the hotline or the crisis line.
Okay.
We give them the telephone number and we tell them, please call, talk, express what you want to do.
Right.
And so that's the way we deal with it, and we get the help out to them.
And I guess you give them medication too
As soon as they see the psychiatrist, they evaluate and they treat and they follow through. And we
What if somebody doesn't have transportation on their own? What if they don't have a car? Is there any other way besides taking a taxi or Uber?
Yeah.
Do you have Uber in Piscataway?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes,
but,
we do.
We do. Okay. So, but what if don't have access to that transportation? Is there any other way they can get there?
To the Piscataway Clinic, we do give them the Middlesex County transportation number, and many of them use it, and they're able to get MCAT.
MCAT, right.
Yes. And most often we do have veteran friends and colleagues who step in and help to bring them over.
Yeah. I know here locally, if you're a Piscataway resident, you can always call our senior citizen transportation center. We do similarly within a 10-mile radius.
10-mile radius.
The other thing I would suggest to a veteran who can't get up to either Lions, East Orange, or clinic, call their local VFW or American Legion. A lot of the guys there are looking to help out, and even a local church. Yeah, I've seen that happen too, where they will take a veteran up to a scheduled appointment.
Yes, a scheduled appointment at East Orange or Lion. We do have a shuttle on Wednesdays.
Right.
That goes from the Piscataway Clinic to East Orange or Lions, and we've often told them there's a lot of parking spots. Come here, leave your car, and we'll arrange for that transportation. But you just need to have an appointment in the computer.
Good idea.
Yes, every Wednesday.
So that's a pretty good. It's just like a shuttle service with pre-appointment.
Yes,
it's pretty good. Yeah.
How about those questions? Right?
Yeah,
pretty good.
They were good.
You know what? One of the questions that Councilwoman Fern Kohler was just about the post-distress syndrome. Have you? I mean, within the last, say, 15 years, it's become more widely knowledge of what that is. I mean, have you seen more the World War II Korean veterans with that, or is this mostly the more recent veterans?
I think I'm seeing more of the Vietnam veterans and now the recent OEF, OIF.
Correct.
The World War II are very few and far between, and they're the stoic people. And who say, that don't bother me.
Right. Yeah.
It's always that. And they're amazed at how many more extra years they have got in their life.
Right.
Because right now they're in their 90s.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and if you ask them, what's your one major concern that you would like to have in your health? And then one of them told me, I just want to make peace with my maker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is very nice to meet them and, see them go on and trudge on.
Yes, Frank. Yeah.
Dr. Perry brought up a really good point. World War II veteran. My father was a World War II veteran. He rarely spoke to me about it. And I know there were certain things there that he had to do and so on and so forth, but he never enrolled in the VA healthcare system because he had the attitude, just like most World War II vets, though other people need it more than me, I don't want to take away from their benefits. I said, Dad, you're not taking away from your benefits. You earn these benefits just like, no, I don't need it. I got a city job. I have, health care and so on. A lot of the World War II vets are just like Dr. Pereira says. I went through it, no big deal, leave it for the ones who need it.
They're very proud of what they did.
Exactly. Exactly.
That they served their country and they're very proud of it.
Yeah, they are. They should be.
Yeah, well, it kind of reminds me of...
absolutely.
all veterans should be proud,
our good friend Joe Nigro.
Yes.
He's in his 90s.
He's that. What do they call that generation?
Non-entrants.
The World War
greatest
II
generation.
Yeah. The greatest.
The greatest generation.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's the greatest.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, and they're tough.
Yeah. Yes.
They are tough. Yeah.
Built a strong defense system within themselves.
Correct. That's what they did.
Yes, and then but then sometimes they talk to each other and then they drink.
Well, as long as it's in moderation, it's okay.
That's right.
I mean, there's always these studies about red wine or something.
Red wine, and then it's not good later on.
Yeah, not good later on. Do you see? Now, I know when there was talk over the summer about that if there's some appointment couldn't be made or something to that effect, they would go out to a supplemental
choice.
Choice. What's that
Veterans
about?
Choice
Veterans
program.
Choice. Exactly.
Okay.
And basically what it is, if they can't get an appointment within a specific period of time, or if a VA is more than 40 miles away from them, they could call up the VA and possibly see their private doctor.
Okay.
As long as the private doctor is sort of one of our, in other words, he's one of our vendors.
Yeah,
he's on our contract, and then they could see a private doctor, and it's called Veterans Choice.
Okay.
But where it's being utilized a lot is like out in the Midwest.
Where there's more of a population of vets.
Exactly, and they're driving over 100 miles to the nearest VA.
That's crazy.
Here in New Jersey, we really don't have that problem. There's VAs that are all
close
over the
enough.
place.
Even Philadelphia is close enough.
Right, Philly VA.
Yeah.
Bronx VA is up in north, right across the bridge from George Washington Bridge for the people in Bergen County if they want to go to the Bronx VA. So
and we have Manhattan VA for all the other specialties. A lot of our patients have gone there.
Yes.
And had surgeries done. And they've come. Actually, a young veteran who had a scalp replaced.
Oh, really?
Wow. So he had that done by neurosurgery. So
do they have support systems within their own groups? Like they can make friends and support system.
Like
I'll say, like Weight Watchers. If you've got if you're on a binge, you can call somebody to help you.
Yes, they do. We do have we have programs for weight loss. So within that, you can always.
I didn't mean to go in that direction.
That's all right.
That's not my favorite topic.
But there are organizations out there that like. The VFW, if you belong to the Veterans of the Foreign War, the American Legion,
they help each other.
The VVA, the Vietnam Veterans.
Yes.
So they'll join that organization. The Catholic War Veterans, the Jewish War Veterans, the Marine Corps League. So there are so many organizations out there. Support groups, exactly.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
We're going to hold that thought. We actually do have a caller on line one, and I believe it's Kevin. Welcome to on Piscataway, Kevin.
Hey, how are you, Mayor?
Yes. Do you have a question for one of our two VA guests?
Actually, no, for you directly.
Okay.
I was wondering if at long last what was formerly the Cornell Farm was going to become something less of an eyesore. Maybe a park with a track around it, a soccer field, something a little more aesthetically pleasing as opposed to the eyesore of a warehouse across the street from it.
Well, it will be a park. Unfortunately, it's still in litigation. The family did receive all their money. However, it's in the courts because this family is the responsible polluter of the property. And so under the DEP laws in the state of New Jersey, they're the responsible polluters, so they have to clean up the property first, meaning the contaminants and things like that. So basically, the litigation is about they want it cleaned up to industrial standards, which is less money. The town paid for residential standards for a park, so which means more stringent cleanup costs. So until that's resolved by the master of the state appellate division court, we cannot even do the demo of the property out there and start making it in a park. So I think there's going to be some movement within the next year that we'll be able to hopefully start getting that cleaned up out there and make it into a beautiful park in the center part of town.
That would be tremendous.
It's an asset, and part of the county. I got to give a lot of credit to the Board of Chosen Freeholders because, as part of that, in preparation for the park out there, the roadway was widened, and you have bike lanes out there. You have sidewalks out there now. So those folks that live in the Gramercy Park, Lake Nelson area, Wood Lake Drive area, neck of the woods, now can actually physically go and bike actually just maybe some of the stores down on Centennial Avenue or patronize them or whatever, or just get a very relaxing walk at sunset or something along that stretch. But I know one of the things we're looking at is having an arboretum out there and parking, and also probably a couple-acre dog park out there and some other items. Couple acres. So.
Dog park.
Well, it's a very large track out there,
Big dogs.
but it has to be used for passive recreational use, so not active. So we're not at that stage yet until the property gets cleaned up. Then we'll have a for earnest discussion about that, what the actual park design is going to look like. So, okay.
Great, thank you.
All right, have a good evening.
Good question.
So.
Good question.
But yes, and I have the director behind him banging on the window in the back, are you going to do the last video? And the answer is no. We're having too good of a time on here in the set. So because we have a lot of information at the folks at the VA, so we can leave that one for Santa Claus. So, but with that, the two of you professionally, when you first started from the VA, what were your challenges and your ups and downs, and where have you seen the VA go from when you first started to where you are today?
Oh, I've seen it.
You have about a minute each on this.
I've seen it improve tremendously because as of the end of this month, I'll have 39 years in at the VA. So
sounds like a career.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of improvements. Back in the day, vets didn't get free hearing aids, free eyeglasses. Now they even have a dental program. We didn't have the My Healthy Vet program that Dr. Pereira was talking about. We had none of these, very few of these programs. And to be very honest with you, I think we did not do a very good job in promoting the VA to the veterans to use it. And that's why, 15, 20 years ago, you only had like 2 million vets using it. Now you're up over 9 million veterans that use the VA. And I think we had to improve, in order for them, we had to improve our services in order for them to come back to us and utilize us. So I've seen a tremendous improvement.
And you yourself?
As a medical professional, I've seen a tremendous improvement because from using just dial tone phones, we have now
Ooh,
easy
now you're
access.
starting to hate all of us there.
It is true. That's
now,
what
you don't
we
even
had.
remember the rotary phones?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. So now it's easy because we are doing everything through communication, through the internet, through the CPRS, computerized.
And we did highlight that a little earlier in the show.
Yes.
But do you see a lot of your colleagues in the medical profession, especially dealing with vets, moving more to the diagnosing with the Skyping and things that communication and then more collaboration with your colleagues on what certain problems are with some of the patients? You're viewing
Yes,
like FaceTime,
FaceTime
and things like that.
Yes, it is. We do have that, and we are able to communicate better with our colleagues with that. And we're able to get the services done over the net and through the computerized system. And the patient really many times doesn't have to walk all the way to, or go all the way down to East Orange or Lyons to get it done. So for me, it's a tremendous improvement from what it was before.
And we're going to leave it there. I want to let all the vets know in the greater Middlesex County and Piscataway Township, you have a great clinic here in Piscataway off of Old New Brunswick Road. Take advantage of it, especially if you qualify for the services there.
That's right.
I want to thank Frank Quadrino for coming on board here from the VA, and actually Dr. Prieto right there. So
Thank
if you
you.
Never need to, feel free to see her. She's a great doctor. So with that, we'll see you live. It's Santa Claus next month for you kids. Santa. And it's not bad Santa. It's the good Santa. Okay. With that, we'll see you then.